Welcome to EnfinityCast, the space where we explore the concepts that shape our universe. I'm your host, Niko, Ardent. Today, we're asking a question that sits at the very core of human experience. Can words create reality? It sounds like something out of a fantasy novel, but the connection between language and reality is a deep philosophical puzzle. To help me unravel it, I'm joined by my wonderful co-host, Kael Sparks. Welcome, Kael.
Thanks for having me, Niko. It's a huge question. My initial thought is, of course not. A rock is a rock, whether I call it a rock, a stone, or have no word for it at all. The physical world exists outside of our labels for it.
That's the common sense view, and it's a strong one. But what if we're not talking about rocks? Think about the idea of linguistic relativity, the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis. It suggests that the language we speak doesn't just voice our thoughts, it actively shapes them.
Right. The classic example is how some languages have dozens of words for snow, while others have just one. Does an Inuit speaker therefore perceive a snowy landscape with more nuance and detail than an English speaker? Their language provides the tools, the mental categories to see distinctions that others might miss.
Exactly. So the language isn't creating the snow itself, but it might be creating a different experiential reality for the speaker. Let's take it a step further, away from the physical world. What about concepts like justice, freedom, or love?
Now that's where it gets really interesting. You can't point to a physical object and say, that is justice. It's a concept that exists almost entirely within language and shared agreement. We use words to build its definition, its laws, its limitations. In that sense, our words absolutely do create the reality of justice.
And that shared reality has immense power. Think about money. A $20 bill is just a piece of paper with some ink on it. It has no inherent value. It only becomes money because we have a system of language and belief that says it's worth $20. We've collectively spoken its value into existence.
That's a perfect example. It's a social construct, a reality built on a foundation of words. It also shows how fragile it can be. If everyone suddenly decided the word dollar was meaningless, the entire economic reality would collapse. It's the same with a promise. A promise isn't a thing, it's a linguistic act that creates a real social obligation.
So we have this fascinating split. On one hand, language seems to only describe the physical world, but on the other, it seems to create our entire social, conceptual, and experiential world.
Maybe the distinction isn't as sharp as we think. Even with the rock, by naming it, by categorizing it, we change our relationship to it. Is it a tool, a weapon, a landmark, a piece of a sacred circle? The word we choose places it within a web of meaning. The object doesn't change, but its reality for us does.
So, can words create reality? Perhaps the answer isn't a simple yes or no. Perhaps language is the loom upon which the threads of objective fact and subjective meaning are woven together to create the tapestry we call reality. A lot to think about. That's all the time we have for today. A huge thank you to Kael Sparks for bending our minds. And thank you for listening to EnfinityCast. Until next time, be mindful of your words. You might just be building a world with them.